Hey everyone, okay, so today's tutorial is obviously slightly different. Now, we all get, if any of you are on YouTube, you will know that from time to time or daily, you will get messages that are very, very unpleasant. And a lot of the times, you know, they're fine, you just ignore them because to a certain degree that works. And absolutely, you know, the motto, never wrestle with a pig, because you both get dirty, but the pig likes it. If you get nasty, irky little comments, don't worry about them, never respond to them because, you know, they love it. But what happens when you get messages that are really, really hateful or messages of violence? What do you do then? So earlier this week, I received a message from the lovely and very articulate Harry Sanders, and this is what the message said. Isn't he lovely? So, when you receive messages of this nature, or worse, but any message that is incredibly hateful, where there is a lot of venom being spouted at you, what you do is you do not ignore it, because most of the comments you can just ignore, but when they're really hateful comments, don't ignore them, because ignoring them is saying it's okay to say this to me, and it's absolutely not okay for anybody to speak like that to anybody, no matter what. Now, this is just a makeup channel, you know, it's not offending anybody really, it's just a makeup channel, and I'd like to say that this kind of comment is few and far between, but they're not. And this is what you do when you get comments like this, because you have to deal with them. The first thing you do is you flag the comment and report it to YouTube. Now, YouTube are a bit of a pain sometimes. They mess with the algorithm, they mess with the layouts, they keep changing things, it's a pain. But the one thing they're good at is dealing with hate. You flag the comment or the message that's been sent to you, and you flag it to YouTube. It will send a copy of that message to YouTube so they can see what has been written to you and by whom. It's very important you do this. YouTube will then suspend or eliminate their account like this. Gone. That's what they will do. Now, here's for the fun bit. It's not fun, but it's important, because the more you do this, believe me, the amount of hate you get will plummet. If you get messages that are expressing violence towards you, where somebody is threatening to harm you, or threatening someone else will come and harm you, or telling you to harm yourself, this is what you do. You follow the same steps. You flag up the comment and you report it to YouTube. Very important. They will deal with it. Then you either ask YouTube for their IP address, or you get their IP address yourself, and you then contact the police. Believe me, there is nothing scarier than the police knocking at your door because of something you've done. It's a very scary experience, and one that you should absolutely follow through with, because you should not ever have to tolerate these kind of comments or worse comments just because you make a video on YouTube. This is how you deal with it, and it deals with it beautifully. Do not ever, ever put up with violence, threats of violence, or any kind of hate that is really, really, really hateful. I'm not talking just, obviously, I'm not talking about the kind of comments, I don't like your video, it's horrible, or anything like that, because they're fine, you know, not everybody likes what we do. But you should never tolerate those kind of comments. And if you do, follow these steps, because the amount of hate you get will go down dramatically. Because if you are being threatened with violence, you contact the police. That's it. You contact the police, and the police will come a knocking, and it's scary. So that's what you do. Don't put up with it. Don't ever think that you should have to tolerate that kind of nonsense. You don't. You absolutely don't. Deal with it. Let YouTube deal with it. And if it's threats of violence, then you can contact the police and they will deal with it as well. It's a beautiful world, and we shouldn't have to put up with horrendous people who have nothing better to do all day then to spout venom because they think you're gay, or because you're black, or you're white, or you're fat, or you're thin, or whatever the case may be. It's disgusting. It has to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is if we actually do something about it and don't ignore it. So don't ignore it. I promise you, your level of hate will go down dramatically, and it will be a much better place for everybody else as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.